It's like how we were talking about Dave the Diver the other week, and it has like 20,000 Steam reviews in a month.
Yeah, I can't wait for it to come out on the Switch next year.
It's supposed to be this year. We're thriving. I'll drop kick everything out of the way for Dave the Diver.
Yes.
Dude. I'm there. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the HGO podcast. I'm one of your hosts today, Ethan, and joining me, as always, are my good friends, Kyle.
Hello.
And Hunter. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing just swell.
You know, I want to make an apology for last week, guys. I don't usually do this, so I'm just gonna make an apology because, you know, we do those little intro bits every week, and we did one about Forspoken, and the timers have not stopped, guys. Hunter's is just going to keep going his alert. You're getting your alert twice, Hunter. Stream Elements has changed the way it works, so, you know, you just got to get it twice. I hate it here. I'm not apologizing for that, though. You should expect that from this show. What I am apologizing for is we had an intro bit last week that was about Forspoken. Very funny bit. I then, after editing it, rendering, and uploading it, remembered there was the Peppa Pig thing, and that was way funnier. So I want to apologize because the Peppa Pig thing was way funnier. Should have been that. It honestly should have been. I was so annoyed at myself. But you know, it is what it is. Maybe if this week's that bad, we'll put the Peppa Pig thing at the start of this one. There you go. Sorted. Maybe you saw it. Who knows?
Imagine making the intro stingers a scavenger hunt. Whereas, like, they might be in this episode, they might be in the last one. Maybe they'll be in the next episode.
Yeah, maybe if we ever get that prepared. Yeah, who knows? But yeah, I just thought it was quite funny.
An episode ahead of schedule.
Yes, in season 1, I believe.
Oh damn!
Yeah,
back when we were trying our best.
Well, it was like I was away or something. No, season 2, I was away or something. So we decided to record early and do 2 back to back, I think.
Oh yeah.
Who knows if we'll ever do that again? I don't know. Maybe next. I feel like back then though, it was like this whole thing was a mess. Like there was so many assets, so much garbage everywhere that it would take. I was the only person that could handle it. Now I could just be like, hey, here's the background of the thing. You two go nuts. Have a good week. I'm off. See you later. Upload it on a Monday. There you go. We're done. But no, we'll have to see. But anyway, if you haven't watched last week's episode, I'd highly recommend it because this week it's kind of like the second part. Last week we talked about everything that has come out so far this year, and this week we're going to talk about, shocker, everything that's still to come this year. Wow, because there's still a lot of stuff to come. 2023 is we're only half done, so we've got plenty of games still to come, especially in October. So we're going to talk all about them this week. And yeah, it should be a good time. But no, if you did miss last week's episode, go and check it out. We talk about everything that has come out this year that we have reviewed. Did we make some mistakes? Like, for example, me pretending I never played Forspoken when I remembered I had technically played the demo, so I had played 2 hours of it. Yeah, sure, we made mistakes. But, you know, it's all good. It's all good fun. It's all fun. But yeah, so go check that one out. And yeah. Buckle in because we've got a lot to talk about. We will be talking about all things PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, whoever else shows up. Atlas has got a thing in there at some point, I assume. It'll be great. We'll be fine. We'll talk about it. But yeah, if you're new here, this is the HGO podcast. We're here every Monday around 5 p.m. UK time, 12 p.m. Eastern, on podcast services everywhere, and at youtube.com/hotgamersonly, where you can look at our stupid faces if you want to. That's pretty cool. We're really close to 275 subscribers, so if you could hit that subscribe button, that would be pretty cool. As we try and get to our goal of 300 by the end of the year. I think we can do it, guys. I believe in you. And please hit that subscribe button so we can get ever closer. Who knows? Maybe one day people other than indie devs will acknowledge us. I don't know. We're getting close. Crash Bandicoot tweeted out my tweet because I'm so great and so popular. I was everywhere, apparently. Someone told me I was on Instagram. I'm like, that's epic. That's more than I've been on Instagram in the past 3 years. That's pretty cool. But yeah, that was funny. I was like, do you want the review? No, we'll have this random tweet you did on launch day. Thank you. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I didn't work hard on the review anyway. But yeah,
he remains so humble.
Extremely humble, extremely affable, and, you know, an incredible personality. What can I say? I'm just feeling good, dude. It's that 15:45 run at 6 a.m. really just did it for me. I'm just feeling great after that.
That was a fun time.
It was a fun time. Will the VOD go up on YouTube? Who knows? I did my teeth during the run. That was fun.
Yes.
Yeah,
I remember the toothbrush. That was fun.
That was an idea that you had at 6 a.m.
It's honestly the ultimate disrespect to Komodo Joe, and I commend you for it.
Yeah, after all the crap he's put you through, yeah,
I think it
he
was because
deserved it.
yeah, I think the funniest part was I did bits like wear sunglasses the entire run and do my teeth during 2 of the bosses, and I still came out with a good time. So you can't complain, right? But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the upcoming games for this year. So just like last week, there'll be timestamps down below. We're going to go month by month, baby. It's just that simple. Starting off with the month we're in right now. Gosh darn it, it's July.
Woo.
And you know, July, I think we can safely say, bit of a quiet month.
Yeah.
Not huge.
Yeah.
And Pikmin fans, I swear to God, sit down. You can have your turn in a second, but it's still not a huge month because Pikmin are tiny. Got 'em. Anyway.
You know what's
Exoprimal.
huge? Dinosaurs.
Yeah, Exoprimal's just come out.
Yeah, it came out yesterday at the time of
We should also
recording
mention
this.
Oxenfree 2 also came out last week. That didn't make it into the little thingy, but that's a sequel to an indie game that people liked quite a bit. That seems to be doing, let me double check, 78 average. Cool.
Woo.
So there you go. Well, this with my fantasy credit, we'll take that.
Good for you,
But yeah,
Oxenfree.
Exoprimal came out this year. Came out this week. And from the looks of it,
Technically correct.
it looks like we guessed bang on. The Open Critic score doesn't have one yet, but it has 2 scores. One from Xbox Era, which is a 7.5, and one from a different place called the Beta Network, which was a 6 out of 10. And I don't like to say that there's some bias going on with, like, you know, your Xbox Eras, your Nintendo Lives, your PlayStation. But if you're named after a brand and it's associated like Game Pass,
probably.
I'm going to go and lean on the Beta Network until more people say it's a 75. So it doesn't seem to be that great, but is anybody shocked?
No.
I don't know. Could I have tried it for myself to gain an actual opinion? Yes, but I didn't. It's fun. I can't wait. I was playing Final Fantasy.
Look
Who
at that
cares?
first trailer and tell me that you wanted to, and I will call you a liar.
It's true. I couldn't do it. I was like, should I do it? No, I can't. I can't justify playing it. I've got so much good stuff in my backlog. I don't have time right now to dive into Falling Dinosaur Simulator 2023. But, you know, it's out there. If you're on Xbox and you need something to play, there you go. Go and do it. There's a bunch of indie games. We're not going to talk about most of these because we're not well informed. But the next big game is obviously Pikmin 4, July 21st. All 5 Pikmin fans ecstatic for this release. I've seen them on Twitter. They're howling. It's going to be great. None of us are Pikmin fans.
Nope.
Yeah.
So if you are a fan of Pikmin, I would not expect us to cover it because none of us are Pikmin fans. So sorry about that.
Oh, right. Sometime next week, Viewfinder comes out, which is that really cool looking puzzle game about taking the pictures and playing with the. It's not on the list here, but you know, take the Polaroids and then take the stuff in the Polaroids to manipulate the space, and it looks like it'll be a really neat game.
Oh, yeah. I remember seeing this in an indie showcase at some point. Yes. That does look interesting. It reminds me of a different indie game as well. Was it like Subliminal or something? Where it was like
Superliminal is what
Superliminal.
people have been comparing it to in some ways, yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, it's there if you're down for it. But yeah, Pikmin 4, I think everybody, I mean myself included, even though I don't really care for it, I think everyone's just expecting this to be a good video game. I think no one is expecting this to be bad, even though, you know, like what does Pikmin usually do? Like it's got to be an 80 something,
80
right?
some, probably.
Pikmin 3 Metacritic, because it's been that long, kids. We're probably gonna have to go to Metacritic for a look at this. Pikmin 3 Deluxe. Oh yeah, they had a deluxe port, 85.
Yeah, they have a Switch version.
Pikmin 3 for Wii U got an 87, so I think it's
That
gonna be a
doesn't
high
make any
80s.
sense because the Switch version has more content and it's the same game, but whatever.
Yeah, but it's the same games. You got to
Good
dock
job.
it a few points, Carl. You got to dock it a few points. What the hell am I gonna do? Ignore that.
All right.
Anyway, but
Silly
yeah,
me, I forgot that's how things work.
that's how things work. Remasters score lower for some reason because we can't praise it as much as we did last time. But yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure you Pikmin fans are gonna have a swell time, and I won't be there, and I will still not understand why you like Pikmin. But you know, there's a demo out. We could play the demo for that week.
could.
We could play the demo.
That could be funny.
We could play the demo. Maybe we'll play the demo.
That is your go-to move with Nintendo titles a lot of the time, is play the demo and then
Yeah,
become
but every time
convinced
I
that
do
you
that, it
never need
puts
to
me
buy
off a
it.
Nintendo game. The amount of times
Well,
I've been
yeah,
put
but you
off a
weren't gonna
Nintendo
buy
game.
Pikmin anyway, so you don't have to worry about being put off of it because you're already off of it.
Yeah, you won't lose anything.
He's got
All
a
it can
point.
do is put you on Pikmin.
You've got a
Sounds like
point.
a weird euphemism for drugs.
Hey. And then let me just tell you, end of July, we've got a big time, dude. We've got the return of Telltale. Telltale is back with The Expanse, which is that's kind of
I thought
true.
that came out already.
It's not out, and also it's only published by. Everyone's going Telltale's back. It's made by Deck Nine. Deck Nine are the people that are making that, not Telltale, because Telltale's making Wolf Among Us. So.
Oh.
But anyway, it's a collaboration between the two, and it's starting. The first episode releases on July 26th. I like Deck Nine. I don't like Deck Nine enough to play a game based on a franchise of an IP that I don't like, haven't even experienced. So,
Yeah.
but it's there if you care for it. Disney Illusion Island is also out on July 28th. That's that Disney platformer, that 2D platformer that was in a couple of Nintendo Directs a little bit ago, which I think actually looks pretty decent. It's based on the new Mickey cartoons. I thought it looked like it'd be a pretty solid game. And then obviously the big one, Hello Kitty Island Adventure, is coming to Apple Arcade, guys.
Oh, baby.
Whatever that is.
The only reason I'm bringing this up, because I thought it was funny, I saw it on Twitter, was someone said that apparently about 12 years ago, South Park made a joke in one of their video game episodes where everybody was playing something, and then I think Butters or somebody else was playing a game called Hello Kitty Island Adventure that didn't exist, but now it does. So, that's pretty fun. And that's basically it for July. Like I say, it's a bit of a
pretty
slower
quiet
month. But May and June were pretty packed, so I don't blame the industry for having a month off. Everyone has to have a little time off. But it is what it is. We'll be fine. August has some more games. Quite a few games actually. Now that I'm looking at it. Let's start with Immortals of Avium, which that's that Doom game that's with witchcraft and wizardry.
Yeah,
right?
Magic
That's
Doom.
Yeah, the
Magic
Battle
Doom
Mage game.
Is this doing it for anybody? Because this game screams to me like we have Doom at home.
It certainly looks like something where I'm like, I was like, maybe, but also not really.
I forgot about this entirely until I opened up the page and looked at all the screenshots.
My the last time I saw it, my overwhelming notion was, the magic stuff looks kind of cool, but also last time I thought that was Ghostwire Tokyo, so maybe I'll hit the brakes on this one until I see something more about it, or if there was a demo or something.
True. I don't know. To me, it's again, it looks like it could be decent, but I also am not willing to give it a go at full price or anything like that. This seems like something to me that'll be like, and it's an EA game, right? So it'll be an EA play eventually. It's going to be one of those things where it shows up on PlayStation Plus or Xbox Game Pass, and I'm like, you know what, I'll give it a bash.
Or even heavily discounted in a couple months.
Yeah.
And this is the reason why Game Pass has rotted my brain, because I'll just be like, I'll wait for that, and then when it comes to Game Pass or PlayStation Plus, I still don't play them. This is what happens. This is how this is rotting my brain.
Or he'll wait for it to go on Game Pass, and then he'll just buy it on PlayStation for the trophies anyway.
How fucking dare you? It's true. I will. Coffee Talk and AI the Somnium Files were two games I played via Game Pass and then went back later and bought them again on PlayStation just to go and clean those trophies up. So, he goes to it doesn't work. Every time I play a game on Xbox, I'm like, it's for me, it's me time. I don't have to worry about trophies. I just get to play the game. It's like how I played The Witcher. Now I was like, I was actually pretty close. I could platinum The Witcher one day. And now I'm like, I've got a PS5 copy and I'm like, one day, maybe. I'm like, this is stupid. I'm stupid. Anyway, Baldur's Gate 3, will it be PlayStation's answer to Starfield? No.
That was the silliest thing that I was sort of... I think it was kind of funny.
It was kind of funny. I just saw that as like a...
It was the name of their PlayStation
PS I Love You podcast this
week. Yeah.
I know dissing kind of funny, but it was a very kind of funny title because I was like, no.
No. Yeah.
By the way, it's not out on PlayStation till September, but this
so
it's out on PC in August.
Yeah, is one of those absurd titles that you answer in one word and are perplexed that it was being asked in the first place.
Yeah, it's not a no, it's a no. What the fuck? But no, Baldur's
Baldur's
Gate.
Gate seems like I feel like Baldur's Gate services a vastly different audience than Bethesda RPGs. It's like on the way nerdier end of
We're
things.
just saying something, right? Because I feel like the thing about Bethesda, and it's the beautiful thing about Bethesda, is they manage to create this kind of like audience, this target demographic that ranges from the ultra fucking hardcore nerdy D&D enthusiast all the way to the casual pleb like me who doesn't care but will play a game because he sees the dragons and we lost the hunter as
Oh,
always.
not the hunter.
But you know,
Yeah.
they do that magical thing where all my friends who don't really care about D&D or video games in that kind of way, we don't care about the hardcore role-playing aspect. They all love Elder Scrolls. And so and they all love Fallout. Whereas Baldur's Gate 3, I feel like is definitely, if this is the Bethesda
It's on the
audience,
it's on the completely
it's-
nerdy side of the
it's
spectrum.
that side.
Yeah.
Wrong way because my webcam's flipped. It's this side. It's the hardcore side of the audience, right? And it's just like, I'm sure it'll be a good game. I'm sure plenty of people will enjoy it.
Like,
They had
it's
that
one
thing
of
where they're
those
like,
ones
there's 6
where
million hours of cutscenes.
it looks like something where I could potentially be interested in it, but also like I don't know. I might get the mechanics of the game might bog me down where I'm like, I don't care about this stuff.
Same.
Song Hunter, you don't want to pass some charisma checks?
No, charisma
Well, I
checks
don't know,
are
it's
cake.
like-
I've played Dragon Age. My character's the most charismatic person to walk the earth.
But you know, I feel like, and bring it back right now because it's like I finally started Final Fantasy 16, guys. Well done. I've played like half of it. We're getting there. I probably would have finished the entire thing if Jack hadn't held me hostage in a Discord call for the first half of my week off. But you know, other than that, we're thriving. But you know, my thing with Final Fantasy is my thing with these games is I love person-to-person character stories, right? So it's like I love the dynamics between Sid and Clive and Jill and all these characters, and I love the way that this world revolves around it. But then when they get into the nitty-gritty of talking about how the world works and the crystals and all that, my brain just goes to mush and I stop caring. And this is my problem with these kinds of games, is because they, like, world building to me is... I need the world building there to go, okay, I know where I need to hop in. I know what world we're in, right? I'm well versed. But then it's like it's all the nitty-gritty. And these games are the pure nitty-gritty where it's like, you know, like into the numbers, into the world building. Oh, the reason this is like this is because of that. Don't care. I just care about character stories.
It's like people who watched the Game of Thrones show, and then this game is like these are the nerds correcting you on what happened in the books.
But no, and for some people, that's the way they like to experience
for some
it.
people,
love
it's
the
better.
books.
Yeah, I like no actual shade there. It's just kind of what the vibe comes off as.
No, 100%. And I think this game, again, will probably be pretty decent. I think it's going to score
I
lower
think it'll
than
be
some people think.
really
it'll
good
be.
for the people who like these things. Like, you know,
Oh, 100%.
it's just the net that it casts isn't going to be the widest thing in the world.
Oh, and it's definitely not going to be
Like
the PlayStation's equivalent.
Yeah,
of
I could see it
Starfield.
being like
PlayStation
closer
fans,
to
we're just going to have to
Disco
take the L.
Elysium than it would be
That's a good one.
Starfield, because like Disco Elysium, like I heard maybe 25 people talk about it, but those 25 people all have the highest recommendation for it.
It just isn't in my wheelhouse, right? It just isn't in my wheelhouse. How it's like, you know, for some people, you know, Hi-Fi Rush isn't in their wheelhouse, and no one's really been talking about that. But to me, everybody that's in my wheelhouse loves Hi-Fi Rush, right? So we're just on it. We just
Hi-Fi
pat
Rush.
ourselves on we just pat ourselves on the back and go, good job, everybody, for loving the same games I do, right? And there'll be a huge audience for Baldur's Gate, right? It's like how we were talking about Dave the Diver the other week. It's just a Steve game none of us have ever heard of, and it has like 20,000 Steam reviews in a fucking month, and you're just like, I've never heard of this, and there's this whole community that love it, and now I do, and I can't wait for the Switch.
Yeah, I can't wait for it to come out on the Switch next year.
It's supposed to be this year. We're thriving.
Oh, I thought it was the beginning of next year.
Come to
baby.
me. I'll drop kick everything out of the way for Dave the Diver, dude.
Yes.
I'm there. Screw you, Mario Wonder and Spider-Man 2. I'm after Dave the Diver.
That'd be the perfect game for December.
It would be the perfect game for December. You're right there. But you know, it caters to a different audience, and I think it'll be pretty good. It'll be interesting to see where it skews though. That's what I'm interested in because I think people will love it, but will it review well? That'll be the big question. Anyway, I'm looking through a load of these games. There are a load of games. Atlas Fallen reminds me. I've heard that game before. I don't know what it is, but I've heard that name before. Is this a Jeff Keighley thing? Has this been shown on a Jeff Keighley thing?
Think so.
It's an upcoming action
So
role
like it
playing
has
game.
2 words that are like I don't know what this game is, but I've played a game called Arcadia Fallen that has part of its name, and I know of this other game called Arcadian Atlas that has the other half of the name, and it like shorts out my brain to try and imagine what this game is.
It's also developed by Deck 9's big brother, Deck 13.
Oh, sick.
Epic. But you know, it's there if you guys care for it. Stray is finally going somewhere else on August 10th. It's coming to Xbox. If you guys want to play that cat game that people played, I recently replayed that cat game, and what I can say is it's fine. It's pretty decent. Does it deserve all the hype?
Probably
Yes
not.
and no. I think visually it's very stunning, and I feel like it's one of those. It's very much it's like an artsy kind of game in a way where it's like you're not going there for a riveting gameplay experience. That chase sequence with the fucking little gooey guys sucks. It's so bad. When
Yeah.
that game tries to do gameplay, it sucks. But the exploration is pretty fun. Game that I'm kind of interested in, which I hope comes to different. Oh, it is coming to everything. Stray Gods, the role-playing musical, is coming to everything.
Oh
in
yeah,
August,
I've heard
on August
about
10th.
that.
Um,
That one looks cool.
This is
I
a
remember-
game that is composed by Austin Wintory. It's basically
Yeah.
a musical, and it has a really stellar cast in it, I believe. It has Laura Bailey, it has Troy Baker in it, it has Felicia Day, it has Rahul Kohli, it has Allegra Clark, it has Ashley Johnson, Erika Ishii. There's a load of people in this game, okay? There's a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of great
lot of
voice
people.
actors doing a little sing-song, and it's composed by one
Noel
of the best
Dandridge, which
people.
you may know from the HBO hit series The Last of Us. She played thingy, didn't she? God, what's her name? Head of the Fireflies.
Yes. No,
Head of the Fireflies, everybody. Marlene. She played Marlene in both the game.
I was
and
sitting
the
there
show.
thinking Marlene, but then I'm like, no, that was Barrett's daughter.
Same role, really.
Two things can
It's
be
crazy.
correct, Hunter.
It's
Listen,
crazy
Kyle,
how Final Fantasy
no.
VII is a prequel to The Last of Us. It's crazy.
Oh my
how
god,
that
you're right. That's how the world ends. I don't care what they say about the mushrooms.
But yeah. So yeah, you've got on the same day Stray and Stray Gods coming. That looks interesting. I'll be interesting to see again how that kind of because it's a role playing musical video game. Interesting to see where that goes. It could go either way. It could be brilliant. It also could be a bit of a hey, the performances and the songs are great, but it could also whiff. I'm hoping it's the former and that it's good. If you like playing couch co-op games, this is just a quick one. Moving Out 2, which is a sequel to Moving Out 1, is coming on in August as well, August 15th. If you don't know, it's one of those Overcooked kind of games, but you pack in and out
it's
of
Overcooked,
houses,
but
and there's
moving.
chaos. Yeah, it
Nice.
looks quite fun. So if you've been dying for more Moving Out or Overcooked or anything of that jazz, we've got you covered, guys. I want to give I do want to give a shout out to this as well. Bomb Rush Cyberfunk.
Oh yeah, I've
Jet
seen
Set
trailers
Radio
for that
game.
one. It looks
Oh,
like the Jet Set
yeah.
Radio game.
This game.
The Jet Set Radio thing, which has got a great name, is coming out in August. It's currently scheduled for August 18th. I lost track on the page. I'm sorry, guys. My reading comprehension is not great at the best of times. But yes, it looks awesome. It looks like a spiritual success to Jet Set Radio, so if you're into that kind of vibe, check it out. I'm trying to keep up with there's so much stuff. There's Madden if you are a Madden fan. There's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre if you're a fan of terrible games.
And the next biggest one is probably Armored Core 6.
How fucking dare you fucking blaspheme Smurfs cart?
You know why I blaspheme Smurfs cart.
How
Hunter and I
dare
already
you?
talked about this before you got here.
What? You talked about Game of the Year without me, bro? How dare
No, that was
you?
Crash Team Rumble.
No, that was Game of the Decade.
Oh, silly me.
And it still is. But yeah, Smurfs cart. Can't wait. Blasphemous 2 is also coming
Yeah,
out.
Blasphemous was a pretty solid little indie 2D action game.
And now there's a squeakquel.
Yeah. I
Right.
suspect it'll be good as well.
Fine, right. Time for the controversial part of this podcast. Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon. Where we think this is landing? Because I have the bold prediction this will not be nominated for Game of the Year. I'm sorry, From fans. I don't think this game's gonna hit as much as a fucking, blood.
I certainly don't
Blood
think it's going
Souls
to get nominated
Soulborne
for
game.
Game of the Year, but also I think it'll
I'm not
review
expecting it to.
respectably.
It'll still be like a mid 80.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Like,
gonna be a
Cool robot game
contrarian.
made by a respectable game devs.
I
Here's the
believe.
thing. I think it's going to be a low 80. I think it's going to be a very good game. I think it's going to get a load of reviews from outlets that don't understand the message here and go, "This is the Dark Souls people. This isn't Dark Souls." And then they get like the score kind of goes down a tiny bit. That's my
So-
prediction.
Yeah, that could happen. My prediction is around like 85 is where I've been expecting this to land.
I'm going to
and
go with
then,
an
like,
83.
If they're in the opposite manner of what you were saying, if the FromSoft sympathy is especially silly, it could get like an 88 if people are going to be ridiculous about it,
Maybe. You never know. You
But-
never know.
Yeah.
But hey, that's there. And then finally coming out, fucking hell, Goodbye Volcano High. We've heard about that since the announcement of the PS5.
Yeah, since
finally
the
coming
announcement of
out.
the PS5, it had a date for June earlier this year and didn't come out.
Yeah. And on the same day, Sea of Stars is also releasing.
That
I'm
looks
excited for
okay
Sea
now.
of Stars.
Yeah, me too. I think it'll be real good.
It's a little indie RPG.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And it's
Very
closing
much
out, always.
inspired by Chrono Trigger and whatnot.
Yeah.
They got the composer for that to do
Yasunori
the music.
Mitsuda. Yeah. I'm excited.
Right. And that concludes August. So, like I say, quite a bit in August, actually.
Yeah.
More than I thought. But, we move on. Time presses forward to September, which is a big month for one thing and one thing only, guys. Fae Farm. And then there's some other stuff coming later as well. Sorry guys, but we got the fight of the century. We've got Starfield versus PlayStation Starfield. Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield both released on the same day, September 6th. However, this is a lie. Starfield technically comes out on September 1st because you get early access if you buy the deluxe edition. So it's out September 1st.
I love
I've been
when
saying
they do
it.
those kind of things.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah.
I understand it though. Here's the thing is, right? I understand it because you can upgrade to the deluxe edition for $30, right? And you also so it's $30, you get a week early access, you get the first expansion, and you get a load of other goodies. But the reason that I understand that they're doing it like this, and it makes sense to me, is you're gonna have so many fucking me included, right? Fucking freeloader Andy's getting their Game Pass subscription to play Starfield. And you can still buy that upgrade with Game Pass. So you can literally, if you're a Game Pass subscriber like me, they can go, hey, if you want to play it early and get the first expansion, give us $30 and you can play it on September 1st if you have Game Pass. And I'm like, kind of makes sense to me, as stupid as it sounds. This game probably cost way too much money to make, so I can see why they might try and scalp a little bit of extra money out of the Game Pass people, especially if you're going to be one of those fuckers like I've done in the past, like you've done in the past, Hunter, the $1 fucking free trial.
Yeah.
Hell yes,
Turn
I'll
it
pay
off.
$1 for Starfield, please. Thank you. I can understand it. Is it shitty? Yes, at least they give you the expansion. Some people like EA for FIFA won't give you shit all other than the week early access
Except
for
for
that
Ted
$30.
Lasso.
Yeah. It's very silly.
Don't laugh, Kyle. They actually did that last year.
They did actually do it last year. I guess the big
No, I
question,
don't deny that.
the big question about Starfield, where do we think this is landing?
Ugh. It's a really good question.
I'm gonna say it, right? I'm gonna say it. This game is going to do high 80s to low 90s, whether it's good or not. Game's gonna get the cyberpunk
88
effect,
to 91.
regardless. Whether it's a good game afterwards, we shall discuss. But Bethesda launch, hype all around it. First actual Bethesda RPG in 8 years. This thing, Whether we don't, I don't know if we don't feel it as much because of how many trailers and stuff there was for Cyberpunk, but this probably is, in terms of PC nerds especially, the biggest release since Cyberpunk. And I feel like that hype's gonna rally in, whether it's good or not.
That's a very applicable comparison to make, because in a very similar way to how I just wasn't feeling Cyberpunk at all in the lead up to it. Even after this last showing for Starfield, seemed to quell any of the doubts that most people had. I'm like,
It
still
quite a
don't
lot of
care.
doubts in me.
I'm like,
That's
still
for
don't
sure.
care. Not upset that I won't be able to play it. I'm gonna move on with my day.
I mean, here's the thing, right? Is like, am I more interested in what they do next with Elder Scrolls? 100%. But am I still interested in checking this out? Yeah, it probably is when I think about it. Because here's the thing: Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. I've played 2 Spider-Man games. I'll play a 3rd one in October. I'm very much looking forward to it. Same with like Mario and all these other things that are coming out later this year. Starfield probably is my most anticipated game of this year for the rest of the year, just because I haven't played a Bethesda game since 2011. I have not played a new Bethesda RPG since Skyrim, since, God, what, 12 years ago? Since I was 13 years old? It's a pretty big deal. Whether it's good or not, we'll see. But I have a feeling that this game is going to be good. I don't think it's going to be a Cyberpunk, because if anything is to go by, it seems like this game got the development cycle that Cyberpunk should have got in the first place. Internals,
yeah.
This game was supposed to come out internally before Xbox bought them. This game was internally supposed to come out in 2021. And it got pushed to 2022 when Xbox bought it because they wanted more time. Then they saw the state of it and they were like, we're going to push it a whole nother year. So I think Xbox knows that they need a good video game, especially after Redfall.
Yeah,
And
especially after Redfall.
Hey, if Todd Howard's been a lying shill again, I'll be the first one to fucking pass me the beating stick. We'll go at it again like we did with 76, right?
Dude, it would be so, like, I don't think it's gonna happen, but imagine a world where this game isn't good. It's so hilarious.
Like I
In,
say,
like, a very horrible kind of way, but it'd be hilarious. Just like the console's best games are Redfall and a really bad space RPG.
yeah, like that would be, but like I say, Skyrim got a 94 on release. Let's have a look at everyone's favorite video game, Fallout 4, which no one talks about. Got an 87, right? I don't think it's going to be Skyrim. I don't think Elder Scrolls 6 will score as high as Skyrim. I think Skyrim
Probably
was like a
not.
lightning in a bottle video game. Saying that though, so was Morrowind. So like Oblivion kind of was as well. Those games are lightning in a bottle most of the time, but not as much as Skyrim. But I think there's no chance in hell that game scores under an 88. And if it does,
88 is probably what it lands on.
And if it does, I'll be very surprised, and my God, that'll be a fun time on the podcast.
The funniest part
because,
is even if it is like a good game, and it's like gets an 85, I could see a bunch of people trying to spin like, oh, it's not good enough though.
Oh, that's 100% going to happen. That's 100% going to happen. You're going to have, especially PlayStation fanboys, are going to be like, oh, when our exclusives release, they get a 92 or above, and then
Unless
everyone will point it. Yeah.
Or Horizon that can't break the 90 barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a good game, and I have faith in Bethesda to do it. Mainly because, and it'll be the biggest test of Xbox buying things, to be honest, because if they're not giving Bethesda game studios the fucking time to make something, I don't have faith for Fable, I don't have faith for fucking anything. Let Todd Howard cook, because he's probably only got like 3 games in him left max before he retires at the rate that they're making them, so just let him fucking cook.
That's true.
Anyway, back to good games. Faith Farm is coming to Switch on September 8th. It's the big farm game.
Step aside, Starfield.
We're all looking forward to it. I know you are, because I am. It's going to be great. Super Bomberman is getting a sequel apparently on September 13th. Did not know that was getting a sequel. But it is, and it's there if you care for it. And Baten Kaitos 1 and 2 HD remaster September 14th. So hey, if you like your old school JRPGs and you haven't fucking ran out of them yet this year, then off you go. Pop along to the shops, Timmy.
Or if you want to take a look at where Monolith got their start, Monolith Soft.
Yeah. It's crazy to me though, because it's like the amount of JRPGs that come out this year is fucking ridiculous. If you don't count re-release, like the whole all the Final Fantasies are now available on modern platforms. It's like they're doing so much
Yeah,
shit.
imagine
They're
if you
taking
did
so
that
much
this
at the
year,
fan.
where
Yeah.
you just like got the like if you decided this is going to be when I play all of the classic Final Fantasies now that I can play them, and then played the Persona games that got
Final
ported this
Fantasy
year.
13.
Yeah, and then you've got you've got Persona that all got moved over. You've got these that's all been moved over. There's been so many JRPG things that have been released this year. Octopath Traveler 2, if you wanted a new one. There's been so many old school JRPGs that have come out or re-released this year. It's pretty crazy, to be honest. You think they would have saved some for next year, but they're all here. But yeah, that's coming out. Inspector Gadget, the Mad Time Party, also coming out on that day. So move over, Batten Kaitos. You've got competition. And the Crew Motorfest, I guess. But who cares about a Ubisoft racing game? Not
I
me.
don't even think Ubisoft cares about that.
Ubisoft doesn't care about anything unless it starts with Assassin and ends in Creed, dude. Like, genuinely.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. That's
Anyway,
next month, Ethan.
it is next month. Oh boy. Lies of P is coming to Xbox, PlayStation, and PC on September 19th. It's a day one Game Pass game. I'm looking forward to it.
It looks like
shot
it'll
when it
be
comes out.
it looks like it'll be cool, but I have to buy Mortal Kombat, so I might have to wait.
I might have to give it a little time because I'm away at the start of September, so I will be back by September 19th, but I might be playing Starfield. That's how it's like, that's, you know, the games giveth and they taketh away with my time. But Lies of P does look fun.
Sounds like I'm picking up Lies of P then.
Hell yeah, did you have fun?
Kyle.
Mortal Kombat 1 is out on the same day, but September 15th, early access, baby. You pay that extra $, you get that early access. You enjoy those 4 days.
I'm not going to do that.
Enjoy the early access, Hunter.
Enjoy the early access, Hunter. It's there.
It looks like it'll... I am perhaps foolishly optimistic that I'll like it more than the last two.
The last two.
I didn't like 11 very much, and I didn't like 10 very much either, so, you know, it seems like they're taking things in at least a semi-interesting direction.
So you have to get the collectors. So you have to get the collector's edition to get early access.
With a K.
Ladies and gentlemen, which is £240. So, you know, just a...
I'm sorry, did you say 100 or 200?
£240, so it's going to be like $280.
Just making sure I heard you right.
So just so you guys are all right. You thought you were clowning on Starfield? You thought you were top... Yeah. So, you're clowning on Starfield, guys, but hey, there's Mortal Kombat doing it the old-fashioned way. There you go. Anyway,
probably gonna a neat little box though.
Yeah, probably has.
And you get a Liu Kang figure.
Oh, Liu Kang's a geek.
I mean, the figure looks kind of cool. Not gonna lie.
Anyway, moving on.
If only I cared about Mortal Kombat.
PC, Xbox Series X and S, and Xbox One. It's on Game Pass. Party Animals. It looks like that. It looks like
Gang Beast,
the Double Fine publisher game. Yeah, Gang Beast.
Yeah.
That looks like fun, to be honest.
Yeah.
It looks like a good use of $1 for an Xbox Game Pass free trial while you're on your Starfield binge. Just saying, guys. Just so you know,
been something I would have tried when I beat Hi-Fi Rush if it was out earlier this year.
If you genuinely want a good excuse for a month of Game Pass, let me tell you guys, September seems to be a really good month to do it, because not only do you get Starfield, you get Lies of P, and you get Payday 3, which we haven't talked about yet, and Party Animals. There's a lot of stuff for that $1 free trial right there. Just saying, guys, get that dollar worth on September. Or, you know, pay for games like I do, like a freak. It's your choice, really. Anyway, yeah, we did say Payday 3 coming out September 21st. Bold prediction here. I don't think this game launches in a good state. Bold prediction, I know. But Payday 2 didn't launch in that great of a state, and I don't think a game in 2023 is going to release any better, if you know what I'm saying. Games as a service? 2023?
No,
I don't think...
yeah.
Probably not a great state.
But it's out on the September 21st, and you can try it with Game Pass, guys. Just keep saying Game
That
Pass.
way, when it
Just,
does launch in a bad state, you won't feel
and so when it's
that
shit,
ripped
you can
off.
then go play Starfield, and if that's shit, you can go play Lies of P. And if that's shit, we know
You can go
Party
play
Animals
Party
won't
Animals
be.
because
That
it
won't
got
be.
you if nothing
That will
else
be
got
good.
you.
Yeah, that's what we're playing. Anyway, September 26th, Cyberpunk 2077's Phantom Liberty expansion is finally coming. Idris Elba is joining Keanu Reeves as they hold hands into this new Cyberpunk experience. I think the big thing is this is the kind of Phoenix Rising edition of the game, right? They've redone everything. They've redone the level up systems, the weapon progression, everything's. This is basically what they wanted the game to be
apology.
originally. Yeah.
We're
And
sorry.
that comes as a free update. So if you unfortunately bought a copy of Cyberpunk 2077, congratulations, you do get that bit for free. The whole base game gets basically redone, which is nice. And then the Phantom Liberty expansion is out on the same day. I'm hoping it's good. I need to go and play Cyberpunk still, and I'm waiting for this big update. And probably it'll be, if nothing comes out in December, that's probably what I'll play. I played The Witcher in December last year. I will probably do that with Cyberpunk this year. I hope it's good. Like, I know I don't like the idea of everybody sweeping everything under the rug and acting like what happened with Cyberpunk didn't happen. You see a lot of people going, but look at it now. And I'm like, yeah, but it was really shit at the start. We
But
shouldn't
look
forget
at it
that.
then.
But I also
It
don't
didn't
think
work.
But
Yeah,
then I
it's a
also
matter
don't
of,
think
like,
that we should
on
hold
one
them to it
hand-
forever, right? Yeah.
Well, I guess it depends, because if you bought and played it or whatever on launch,
I think you should
It'd be
acknowledge and
too little,
appreciate
too
that they
late.
have gone
But,
to the extent of
you
fixing
know,
it,
yeah,
but
holding
not
it
forget
against
what
them,
they did.
yeah.
It's a middle ground, right? You don't want to.
But also, they shipped out a game that didn't work on last gen consoles.
Yeah, but also I don't want to say I didn't see that. How did no one see that coming? But also, I always thought that was bait anyway. To be honest, I think it was like I never expected Cyberpunk to run well. Not that bad, but I never expected it to run on last gen consoles. Like it reminded me of the Watch Dogs scandal when the E3 trailer of the original Watch Dogs came out, and then the rest was like, "That looks too good," and then they were like, "You're right," and then the real version came out and it looked like ass, and it was like, ah, yes. But
Spider-Man with its fewer puddles.
oh, did you see the water in the Spider-Man 2 trailer? Ew, like God.
I can't believe they have the same swinging animations.
Oh, it's Puddlegate 2.0. God, cringe.
Puddlegate.
That's what it was called. Anyway, yeah. So if you want to play Cyberpunk, go play Cyberpunk. If you haven't played The Witcher, you can go and play The Witcher as well if you feel like doing that. That's on PS5. It works pretty good. I played the Xbox version, as I said earlier. That was pretty good. Turns out the game that people liked was pretty alright. Who knew? Hopefully that's good. Anyway, Disney Speedstorm is also out. That's that racing game that's been in a lot of Nintendo Directs. I think it's been out in early access for a while, but I think the 1.0 or the full version is out in September 28th. So if you care for that, I know it's in early access because I remember seeing an article where people were saying that Mike Wazowski's too OP, and I thought that was the funniest fucking line I've ever seen in my life.
That is pretty hilarious.
Guys, Mike Wazowski's too OP. Nerf Mike. You can't nerf him, dude. He is eternal. Anyway, that's September. And here we go, boys. Who's ready for October? It's the biggest month. It's going to be fun. It's not going to be a pain in the ass for our podcast. I can tell you that much, guys. Because
Divide and conquer.
we're starting off big, guys. On October 6th, Detective Pikachu, he returns.
Yeah.
This game I honestly thought got cancelled years ago, you know, when they said they were making another
Yeah, so
Detective
did I.
Pikachu, when the Ryan
Yeah.
Reynolds movie came out, and then we heard nothing. I was like, okay, it's dead. And then I saw the trailer, and I was like, man, maybe it should have stayed dead. This doesn't look that hot. Like, I think the biggest compliment I can give the original Detective Pikachu was as a final 3DS game, kind of. It was in that late cycle, right? It was a really pretty 3DS game. Like, it was one of those show what like show the like what you can do with an experienced dev on that console, on that platform after so many years. And then I look at this and I'm like, wow, this doesn't look like a mature final like kind of couple of years Nintendo Switch game. It looks really bad. But hopefully it's good. The thing is, guys, a lot of the games that are coming out in October, other than Mario Wonder, are not coming to Switch. So if you need a game, maybe Detective Pikachu will be for you until you hold out for Wonder. But there's a lot of stuff to talk about. Forza Motorsport finally emerges onto Xbox and PC on October 10th. A game again that we've seen since the announcement of the Series X and S. And it's only just coming. Remember when they snuck in Forza Horizon 5 in between? Like, that was
remember
stupid.
when you drafted that one for the
I don't want to talk
First
about
Fantasy Critic, and then you had to drop it to get Horizon?
Yeah, drop it to get the other one. That was fun.
Sam
that
tried
also-
to outvid you. It was hilarious.
I can guarantee for a fact that will be a high 80 to a low 90, and everyone will forget it by Game Awards because that's what they do with racing games. And hallelujah for that. If Gran Turismo did as well as it did, Forza is usually on another league, especially in terms of not being as shitty with microtransactions. So hopefully bump it up a little bit. Anyway, on October 12th, Ethan's hype either lives or dies when Assassin's Creed Mirage comes out for everything. I've put a lot of hope into this game, and my god, I can't wait to be disappointed. I played through 100 hours of Assassin's Creed Valhalla to enjoy this video game.
Yeah,
it's not going to be worth
taxes it. Now it's time to eat his McDonald's.
Not a good McDonald's either. The fries will be unsalted and cold, and I'll cry.
It's the grimace shake of video games.
I'm hopeful. I hope it's decent. I think it's not gonna. I think it's gonna be like a low 80s game, but I'm hoping it's good. I hope, if anything, it's just a reminder of old Assassin's Creed. And if I know people are saying that Ubisoft's paying a lot of attention to this game to see if there's interest in the old Assassin's Creed kind of formula, and my main hope for that is if there is a lot of hype and people do like it, and I'm surprised that they haven't started this because I know they've done the remasters to death. Maybe remake Assassin's Creed 1. Like, I'd really like an Assassin's Creed 1 remake.
Since that can't be played on anything that isn't old. Yeah.
I would really like that because it's not aged incredible. I mean, here's the thing. I know we're in this era of remakes to death, and I'm kind of sick of it myself. Well, all we get is remakes and re-releases and all that jive. There's a lot of good ones, but also I feel like half of the Game of the Year contestants every year since 2020 have been remakes. So I'm like, kind of had enough of that kind of scenario, to the point where I feel like in a couple of years, Jeff might have to start considering a best remake category at the Game Awards because that many of them keep coming out. But Assassin's Creed, you keep doing these shitty remasters. It'll
still make more sense to do that every year than a best fighter every year.
True. He'll have an excuse this year at least. But remake Assassin's Creed 1. Hey, you could remake you could remake the Ezio trilogy as well, to be honest. Like,
oh, dude, that would be just money printing, assuming they did it right. Yeah, still quite a bit of money, even if they didn't.
Well, like, oh god, could you imagine if they did like they did a yearly drop, like, how we had Resident Evils 2, 3, and 8 at like back to back. If they just did the Ezio trilogy one a year, just
Revelations, that'd be great.
Yeah, they should do that. I hope that's my main hope. But I will be buying it. I've already bought it technically, and we'll see on October 12th. I'll be reviewing it. Be prepared to watch me cry. On the same day, River City Rival Showdown, whatever the hell that is coming.
That was a 3DS game
that's being ported.
That's being ported. Yeah.
Cool.
It doesn't seem to have the same kind of pizzazz that the River City Girls games does, so I'm probably gonna skip over it. But it's there if I ever want to look into it.
And then on October 13th, Lords of the Fallen releases. Now, I want to remind you guys that isn't a remake of Lords of the Fallen. That's a sequel to Lords of the Fallen that originally was called The Lords of the Fallen, but then changed its name back to Lords of the Fallen. So it's technically a sequel, but it has the same name because the last name was dumb. That's out on October 13th.
The logo has a 2 in the The logo has a 2 in the
On
title.
GameSpot, yeah, because I think that's the old logo. Because at first it was Lords of the Fallen 2, then it was The Lords of the Fallen, then they changed it back to Lords of the Fallen.
Nice. That's not confusing.
No, definitely
I
not.
love
Especially
video
when you've only
games.
got 2 games in your franchise and they're both called the exact same fucking name.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
earlier this year, Layers of Fear came out, and it was both of the other Layers of Fear games, or something stupid stapled together. And I'm like, God, why, why is Mortal Kombat 1 called Mortal Kombat 1? You already did that in 2011 when you made the one for the PS3. You
it's
can't just
technically a
call
reboot now, but you know.
Yeah, but it's still stupid.
Oh,
They should have
it's
called
still,
it like Mortal Kombat colon something.
I don't know, because sometimes that annoys me as well. I hated Mirror's Edge Catalyst's name. I really hate that name. Like, I don't know why I hate Mirror's Edge Catalyst so much, but it's like I don't hate the game as much, but it's like the name of it. It's just like it just feels like they were like, we can't call it Mirror's Edge again. What do we call it? And they just went, well, like, oh, dude, it's the catalyst. It's the beginning. And I'm like, fuck off. Like, just no balls. Just call it Mirror's.
Origins.
No, just no balls. You could have just called it Mirror's Edge. You could have just called it Mirror's Edge and just moved on. Like, at least be confident in it. Anyway, moving on. October 13th, The Grinch Christmas Adventures in October. Okay,
Oh,
calm
baby.
down. Calm down. We haven't even had Halloween. But anyway, October 17th, Alan Wake 2 is coming to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Only digital, no physical copy. No, naughty. It's the future.
Yeah, Sag.
It's future. Future, we can just take things away from you if we feel like it.
Thank God for
Yeah.
that. I wish they take stuff away from me. Jeez.
But yeah, Alan Wake 2 looks like it'll be good, leaning further into the spooky vibes, and I think being a full-on horror game will make the gameplay more focused and not as tedious to play.
And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, that Alan Wake 2 is doing the right thing, releasing mid-October, so you give people a chance to play it through October, so that they have that Halloween kind of thing. Because Luigi's Mansion a couple of years ago decided to release on Halloween, and I was like, good job, guys, you've got 1 day to play it, and then, oof, it's fucking ruined. Like, I remember doing that. I was like, ooh, Luigi's Mansion, can't wait to play. Played it on Halloween, was like, this was great. Came back November 1st, and I was like, well, this kind of sucks now. Like, it's not Halloween anymore. So yeah, it's in a good spot, I think. You know, it's right in between Assassin's Creed and the big week, so I think it's got a good.
The big week.
Alan Wake was never going to do huge numbers, but I think it'll find its audience in that slot. It could also be delayed. I wouldn't be surprised, but hopefully not. Then we've got a big day, October 20th. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 releases for PS5, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder releases for Nintendo Switch. Both these games are going to do extremely well.
Yep.
They're going to sell extremely well. They're going to score extremely well.
They sure will.
And I'm looking forward to both of them, to be honest. Like, I'm genuinely looking forward to both of them.
Yeah.
I'll be picking both of them up. I've not done this in a while. I think the last time I picked 2 games up on the same day was when Mario Maker 2 and Crash Team Racing came out on the same day. And I bought both of them, and I played Mario Maker for an hour, then I started Crash Team Racing, and then I never played Mario Maker again. True story to this day. I still have not played since launch day for that 1 hour.
I don't remember if there's been a time since, but the last one I remember was picking up Mario Golf and Scarlet Nexus on the same day.
Ooh, fucking hell, that was a rough one. But you know, this one we've got 2 great releases here. I think we'll all, are we all picking up Spider-Man? Are we all picking up Spider-Man?
I'm picking up Spider-Man. I'm gonna leave Mario for like a birthday present or something.
I'm gonna buy Mario because I think I'm gonna make Mario RPG a birthday present because it comes out the couple of days after my birthday. Same with Persona 5 Tactica. I'm just gonna be like, they're out the week, they're after the week after, or they're out the same week. I think, when's my birthday? When's my birthday?
It's the same day every year, Ethan.
I know what it is. I meant in the week, right? So it's on the Friday. It's the Friday of my birthday week. Those games come out, so I'm like, just get them than me because again, could I play Persona 5 Tactica on Xbox Game Pass for free? Yes, I could. Am I gonna buy it for PS5 like a fucking idiot? Yes,
because
I am.
trophies.
Here's the thing: is I don't even like tactical games, so that's just going to be a miserable experience for everybody involved,
Yeah, I
including
know.
myself. Oh well.
Ethan's gonna be like, God, I wish I was touching the feet in Persona Strikers to get this trophy.
That sounds wrong out of context, but I'm just gonna leave it like that anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna pick both of them up. I probably will play a bit of Mario Bros. Wonder on release day just to get some impressions for the podcast, so that we can talk about both of them. But I mean, Spider-Man 2. I'm very much looking forward to Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 1 is probably one of my favorite PS4 exclusives. I loved it. Not from a brand perspective, just from a game. Like, it's just a very fun video game. I've never really been
Sure
that
is.
huge of a Spider-Man person. Like I barely played any of the other video games. I played like Spider-Man for the PS1 and like
Oh, good
the
old
Amazing
Neversoft.
Spider-Man on 360 because I bought it pre-owned for like £5 or whatever, and I needed something to play because I was bored during the summer, right? Like something like that.
Yeah.
But no, so I'm very excited, and it's something I never miss. Like
No.
we say this all the time, and you know, Arcane used to be like this. Hunter, we just keep losing Hunter every single day. I'm just gonna, if I do this, there we go. Now I look like I'm in my box a bit more.
Oh my
Okay, it's back.
Naughty Dog silence me. What I was trying to say is they're PlayStation's actual best studio.
Oh, I 100% agree with that. In terms of, they're the monolith of Sony, in my
Oh,
opinion.
for real, yeah.
I mean, technically, Guerrilla is also the monolith of Sony because other studios use Decima, but you know what I mean. Like
In terms of quality,
in terms of quality,
like consistent quality, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't think Insomniac has made a bad game since.
Spyro 2.
I love Spyro 2. Shut the fuck up. You can argue maybe one of the Resistance games wasn't as good, or maybe Sunset Overdrive. I still think Sunset Overdrive is good, but you know, it's arguable, right? Like it's a personal taste rather than an actual. This game's a bad video game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't wait for both of those. They're both going to be great. Which one will score higher? Probably Mario. I hate to say it, but probably
just
Mario.
'cause.
But I don't know. I feel like Spider-Man 2, I think, could get some really good numbers on it. I saw another silly thing where someone was like, oh, does someone have to die or something for it to be good? I'm like, guys, did you not remember the ending of the last game?
Yeah.
Like, does anyone, like, everyone's like, oh, does Peter have to die at the end for this to be considered really, like, artistic? I'm like, do we not I'm not going to say it for the 5 people who haven't played it, watch the podcast, but I'm like, major characters die at the end of the first game. There's, like, literally, there's 2 sad scenes back to back, and then it just, like, kind of ends. And it's like,
in pretty typical, like, big Spider-Man story fashion, like, you know, a lot of Spider-Man's biggest stories end on a kind of somber note like that. But,
I'm gonna say, skip a minute if you don't want to fucking hear the spoiler. In fact, no, you haven't played it yet, Kyle, have you? Yeah, okay. Kyle, I'll do this when I'm done, okay? So obviously with Aunt May dying, right? So when I heard some bitch going, Aunt May dying, it's like they copied No Way Home. No Way Home came out afterwards. Like,
yeah, No Way Home can't be
brain rot. What is it? It's brain rot.
I hate the MCU brain rot.
It's just
they
brain
did the
rot.
same. There was the sad death at the end of Morales too.
Oh yeah, there was. But you know, everyone just has brain rot where like now people are like, oh, this thing came up with it. I'm like, no, that came out after that. Well done, guys. But
Absolute buffoons.
Anyway.
Like
I don't know if I'm actually gonna play the first Spider-Man game before Spider-Man 2 comes out, but just in case, decide to take my headphones off.
But, like,
I know I should. I've been meaning to.
It doesn't matter who lives or dies at the end of Spider-Man 2, as long as they deliver Venom Craven.
I think we're gonna have. I think it's gonna be a good time. I think it'll probably score higher than the original.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's that. So this City Skylines 2 comes to in October to PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC. It's on Game Pass. I think people don't realize, if you don't know what City Skylines is, that's basically SimCity. That is the new version of SimCity. When SimCity died, City Skylines took over and made a really good city sim. I think it'll probably be a really good city sim if you're into that thing. So hey, if you want to, go play it. But do yourself a fucking favor. Play it on PC. Who's playing fucking SimCity on consoles? Like that just sounds miserable. Don't do that to yourself. It's like when people are like, oh, I play The Sims 4 on my Xbox One. Stop. That's a war crime.
I
Don't play it
have
on
a
PC.
friend who actually plays The Sims 4 on his Xbox One.
That's a war crime. Right
I know.
I
This
played.
is like the other day when Sam told us that he plays Minecraft on his PS5 with keyboard and mouse.
That's just fucking.
It's like,
Why
dude,
wouldn't
just
he? Why
just
wouldn't he
play
just
it on
play
your
it on his
PC at
computer?
that
That's
point,
that is. I
YouTuber.
respect it. That's like poverty. But that's like a poverty setup. I respect that. You know, like you can
The
do it with a couple of games.
PS5?
The
Yeah.
PS5 is a
Poverty?
poverty setup. You could play Minecraft on your phone if you want.
No, but here's the thing with Minecraft. Here's the beautiful thing about
On a
Minecraft. is
toaster powered
Minecraft.
by a potato with some
Minecraft is
jump
13
cables.
years old,
It runs
yet
on
my
anything.
PC will still fucking chug. That game is so unoptimized that the further we go in time, it still continues to run shit on whatever hardware it comes out on PC.
Doesn't
It's
make
like
any sense.
it's like my
Literally
PC
blocks.
is like 5 years old, and it's like sometimes it's like, yeah, you can run Minecraft at max settings at like 50 FPS. I'm like, why? It's not even a bad PC. I can play everything else fine.
It's like how Halls of Torment told my brother's computer, nope, you can't pass, even though this game could be played on a Texas Instrument 35.
It's stupid. Anyway, same day City Skylines 2, Metal Gear Solid Master Collection
Yeah.
Volume 1 comes out. For
MGS
PS5,
1, 2, and 3, baby.
Xbox, Series X
Woo.
and S, Switch, and PC. Cool.
I made a note
guess.
of
I'll
this
be
before the
picking it up.
show. It's weird
I
that
won't.
this isn't coming to the older consoles.
I 100% agree. I don't understand, especially when it's coming on Switch. I also, here's
Yeah.
the thing, right? Fair enough. You know, Metal Gear, beloved franchise, blah 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 blah. Yeah. 50 fucking $60, dude. A bit fucking expensive for
yeah.
what is basically ports. Like these aren't like it's not Reignited Trilogy or NST or something where they've done some fucking work here. They've just they're like it's
That's
really
what the motion comics are for.
it's really expensive for what it is. Like that's the thing is I'll be picking this up on a sale. Like months because October and November busy enough as is. Like come back to me later when it's cheaper because
If you just wait a little while, it might come to the extra tier of the PlayStation Plus thing.
£50, $60 for what it is. Like I haven't played the games yet, so and I've been waiting to because I own them on PS3, and I've been waiting, and I'm like, oh, thank God, I can not play them on PS3. Hallelujah.
Woo.
But it's like, not $50. I can go on my PS3 and buy them all for like 20 right now. I can go to eBay and get the fucking trilogy for $20. Like, it's ridiculous. It's very expensive. And I understand, but you know, most like $40 most, guys. Come on. $40 most, not 60.
Yeah.
One of these is a PS1 game that was on the PlayStation Classic thing. Like, come on. They sold that for like £2.
Yeah.
It kind of baffles me. But you know, Konami's gonna Konami.
They sure are.
And I mean, I feel like it would make more sense. I feel like it makes sense if they're going to do a Volume 2 and that's also going to be the same price. Because that other one will probably have a PS5 version of Phantom Pain and will also probably have the first port of Metal Gear Solid 4. That will probably be worth more. That's closer to being $60 of value is.
You know, now that I think about it, that's probably why so much of this extra stuff got shoved into this one, is so that they literally do feel like they're trying to pad the price.
Yeah, 100%. And let me tell you, it's not working on me, fuckers. I'll see you in February. Anyway, Alone in the Dark returns on October 25th.
You know, if Alone in the Dark, or if October wasn't so busy, or I was like, when I first heard of this, I was willing to give it a chance, but, you know, bad luck, Metal Gear Solid comes out the day before you, Alone in the Dark.
I also want to say this 100% screams to me. It's THQ Nordic. No offense, THQ Nordic. You have lost every little bit of faith I have in you ever publishing a good video game. After shit that you've pulled, like Saints Row and all of that jazz, I'm just like, you guys just chug shit out that gets like a 70 and move on with your life. And it's like the SpongeBob games, right? The Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. It was fine, but it was a very basic fucking very basic remake of that video.
It did what
Cosmic Shake.
you needed to do for the people who already liked it.
Cosmic Shake, again, but it was a very cheap video game. Saints Row, fucking hell, what a disaster you did to that franchise, to the point where now people believe that you wouldn't even be able to go back to an old Saints Row and bring people back. Like, that damage has been done, right? And then to have something like this, Alone in the Dark, and have it be a, you know, you know, it's like Resident Evil kind of style kind of game to it. But then have Jodie Comer and David Harbour shoving celebrities into me screams, this game's gonna be mid. Like,
I
run
didn't.
away.
I didn't even take that into account. I said I was willing to give it a chance, and with the general expectation that it wasn't going to be as good as like the Resident
Yeah.
Evil games that have been coming out, or Dead Space, or anything
Mm.
like that. But it's like maybe see what one of these other horror games that are trying to cash in on the thing, see what the other people trying it are going to hit, kind of thing. But also now October is busy, and I will probably, if I want to try this out, be able to play it for substantially cheaper in a couple months after it comes out, when I have less things to try and juggle.
It's like, yeah, it's wild to me, like, genuinely. Like, THQ Nordic is like, you just hear about them buying IPs and buying shit, and then what they just like, they've gone the, like, at first when they started it was like, oh cool, they're building up THQ again and making like some good stuff with it, and now it just means like they're building back up THQ to be THQ and self-implode again. Like, it genuinely does feel like it's just gonna get to the point.
It is
like,
it doesn't make sense. You figured you'd want to take the approach of like, it's dumb too, because like the AA mid-shelf title thing is like a space that you could still try to fill if you do it intelligently.
yeah.
Maybe you don't want to do the shotgun everything into the bargain bin every time you make something approach this time.
Like I say, it's just very bizarre to me. But, it is what it is. I'm just going to double check that Saints Row is still under... Oh, wait, no, it's under Deep Silver now. Okay, I take it back.
Who is under the...
Oh, are they under THQ Nordic?
They're in the umbrella.
Okay,
if
they're
not
in the...
under
okay.
THQ Nordic, they're under the Embracer Group thing.
Okay.
They're stuck in the same tree.
Yeah. Fucking Embracer Group, that's it.
You oversaw this. You let this happen.
You did this to me.
You did this to me.
God, they have a lot of subsidiaries. I did not realize.
Yeah, they do.
Gearbox is under them as well? Fucking hell. So yeah,
Gross.
THQ Nordic is under them. Okay, so THQ Nordic is under them. But yeah. It's fucking wild, dude. Like, genuinely. They have come together to they have just in turn just come out of their way just to fucking make the most mid publisher of all time, like, genuinely, and I'm like, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, Deep Silver, yeah, they're all under it. Okay, I still take my comments. I undo my taking back of the comments. Fuck off. Make a good video game, then we'll talk. November. Here we are, guys. November. It's a big month. It's a big month for people who need a break from October, let me tell you. That is definitely.
Good old catch-up month.
Good old Ash catch-up, dude. Anyway, Thirsty Suitors comes to Xbox, PS5, Switch, PC. That's a video game.
That game looks fun and silly in very amusing ways.
So yeah, that's coming out. WarioWare Move It is coming to Switch on November 3rd. This is a sequel to WarioWare Smooth Moves on the Wii, which is great because, in my opinion, that's the best WarioWare game they ever made. It's either that one or the one on DS. So I'm like, making a sequel to that. Awesome. I might try that out at some point. I don't understand why they didn't just call it, because in Japan, I've said this on the podcast before, I think. In Japan, it's called WarioWare Super Smooth Moves. It's like a proper sequel. They've put super in front of it.
You at least said that to us before, yeah.
And I'm like, why didn't you call it WarioWare Super Smooth Moves, dude? It's a better name than Move It, and it implies that it's a sequel more. I'm like, that's silly. But regardless, it's coming out, and you guys can play it. And I hope it's better than the last one, because I really didn't like the last WarioWare game. That one I did play a demo of, and I proceeded to not buy the full game because it was not very fun.
Thank you, Nintendo Switch demos.
Thank you, Nintendo Switch, for saving me $40. As you can see, it always works. I never buy Switch games.
Especially not Fire Emblem.
Especially
Or Kirby.
Or Kirby. I will get to Kirby. Banishers,
Wasn't
Ghosts of
Kirby
New
given
Eden,
to
whatever the
you?
fuck that is. That's coming out November 7th. Day before. Is that shit?
I think Ghosts of New Eden is that. I think that's a don't nod.
That's a
is it?
spooky ghosty.
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Yeah, Don't Nod Entertainment.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
Published by
Which, you know,
Focus.
to be fair, it looks better than every time I see Don't Nod do mechanics that go beyond just the typical Life is Strange kind of story stuff. I worry that it's gonna end up like Vampire, which was aggressively boring. This looks like it would be better than that. So fair
Fingers
enough.
crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I hope.
We'll see. Yeah, so yeah, Banishers. The day before looks like it looks like it's the next fucking Abandoned or whatever. It looks like one of those fucking video games. It's getting a load of hype for no fucking reason, so that's coming out. If you want to try your fucking luck.
Persona 5.
Yeah, Hogwarts Legacy comes to Nintendo Switch on November
Go
14th.
figure.
It'll be over
No,
after
I was
that.
just gonna skip over that one.
Yeah, it's there. If you want to play that game at 2 FPS, it's there for you. And then Persona 5 Tactica comes on November 17th.
Another
to
double feature.
everything. And Mario RPG comes on the same day
On
to
the
Switch.
17th.
On the 17th. Good day for Switch fans.
Yeah.
It sure is.
Good month for Switch fans. That's when you're getting most of your food. You're getting WarioWare, you're getting Persona 5, you're getting Mario. What a great time to be alive.
I'll have the
Is
other
Pokemon
Mario game
DLC?
if you didn't get.
Pardon?
I was gonna say, is Pokemon DLC out that month too? Do you know?
No dates.
No date.
No date still on Pokemon DLC, but it's fall and late, so everyone's assuming. My original guess was it was October and December, but with October being so full, I wouldn't be surprised if it's now November and December. But you know, Mario RPG, great. It's gonna cater to a
It's a good game.
It's gonna cater to its audience. I don't know how big of an audience it will have, because I feel like here's the thing, right? They're
All those
obviously doing a big
Smash
2D,
Bros. People screaming about putting Geno in finally have a chance to play the game.
and they won't. But it's
Yeah.
like they had
But they
their bit
should.
like this game. I was like, oh cool, this game's gonna like do a lot. And then at the end of the direct, they announced Mario Bros. Wonder, and I was like, oh, now it isn't, because I was like, oh, because you know, Mario game coming out. That Mario RPG is gonna do fucking nuts. Now everyone's just gonna buy the 2D Mario, and then like half of the families that are like, yes, we can afford getting our child 2 Switch games will get Mario RPG. So now I'm just like, oh, you could have given it a bit of breathing room, guys. More than a month. Like, come on. Mario RPG. I hope it does well. I hope it 'cause I hope
do
it teaches
too.
Nintendo to make some good RPGs for once in their
It
life.
would be nice to have some good Mario RPGs again.
If this
After-
does well, they could
after-
remake the early Paper Mario games.
Oh,
That'd
Thousand
be
Year
cool.
Door will probably be on the list.
Just-
if this one does well.
Please re-release Thousand Year Door. It deserves it. Free
then
it from its GameCube prison.
And then finally, everybody, on to December. It's a big month, December, guys. It's a very big month. So far, the only thing confirmed is Dragon Quest Monsters, the Dark Prince on December 1st. And that's fucking it.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. My big predictions for you guys at home is if Hades 2 actually releases in early access this year, it'll be in December. If Hollow Knight comes out this year, it'll be in December. If Mina the Hollower comes out this year, it'll be in December. Something gets delayed, it'll be in December. That'll be your December lineup.
Yeah.
And remember, all of those are possible, and none of them are likely. Just want to say that. But yeah, it's quite a quiet month, December, so far. It usually is, but
Mhm.
most
I'm
of it's
trying
usually...
to skim through the stuff underneath of December there, but half of it's just the stuff that got reorganized back into the rest of the list. So
yeah, like Master
trying to
Detective
discern what is
Archives,
and
Rain
isn't there.
Code.
it is too tedious.
But oh well, like I say, a lot of
Yeah.
games coming. Lot of games. And May. So, I guess, thoughts on the rest of the year, guys? What are we thinking? How are we feeling compared to other years? Good, bad, a little bit of in between?
I feel like the second half of this year is a lot quieter in terms of like big games coming out than the start of this year. Like I know you've got like your Spider-Man, your Starfield, things like that, but I don't know.
Here's the thing.
I feel like the heavy hitters aren't really there, you know?
Oh, I think it's the opposite. I think it's if
Really?
if you're a Japanese fan, if you're a fan of Eastern releases, JRPGs, Japanese developers, the first half of this year was the big half for you. If you're a fan of Western developers, this second half of the year is the big half of the year for you. I think it's because we've got this divide of the first half was Resident Evil, Final Fantasy, Raincoat, blah blah blah, Zelda, blah blah blah,
Zelda.
all these
Yeah.
Japanese games that have come out of the woodwork. The whole of the second half is your big Xbox Western release, your big PlayStation Western like release. You know, you've got a lot of like fucking heavy hitters. You've got your Assassin's Creed is a good franchise, right? You've got your normal fuckers that are gonna show up to the party, like the terrible Call of Duty that was never supposed to exist but is still coming out this year. That's gonna be good. That'll be a train wreck. You know, a lot of the Western games coming out for the Alan Wake, right? You've got a lot of
Yeah.
the Western developers have all taken the second half. So I think it genuinely is just the way you look at it from your kind of perspective, right? If you are into your JRPGs, if you're into all of those kinds of, you're into your more kind of Japanese related video games, off you fucking
Yeah.
pop. And you'll still have games that are coming out, like remakes and Nintendo stuff is coming out. You've got Lies of P, which was made in Korea, so you've got some stuff that is coming out of Asia, but for the most part, you've got your big heavy hitters are from the West this time, which will do a lot for a lot of people and won't do much for most like others.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I think the biggest, in terms of sales, I think the biggest releases of the year are still to come
Yeah.
by far. I
Well,
think
as
that
far as,
Spider-Man,
like,
I think
Mario and
Starfield, Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
and yeah, Spider-Man and Mario especially. It's going to be a big day. I do think it's interesting though, because I don't think we've had a year that has been this divided though before, where it's like the West has taken most of the first half of this year off. Like there has been a couple of games, right? Like Respawn with Jedi Survivor, Dead Space
Dead
remake
Space.
came out.
Yeah.
But when you look at the big heavy hitters from the first half, Final Fantasy 16, Tears of the Kingdom, Resi 4 remake, Street Fighter 6. Fire Emblem Engage came out this year. If you can remember that game exists, right?
Yeah.
The only big
Forspoken
game,
came
yeah,
out this year.
Forspoken came out this year. The only big like Western games that came out were obviously Dead Space remake came out. Can't forget Crash Team Rumble, everyone's favorite. I'm kidding, but you had like Redfall, Oof, Diablo. That was the big one I was thinking of.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Diablo.
Yeah, Diablo.
None of us played Diablo, if you
No.
couldn't tell.
Sam did, but he won't come on the podcast.
But he's not here.
Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, I think it's a strong end of the year, to be honest. I think
Yeah, there's still a lot to look
for.
forward to. this
Yeah.
year. Really, this gap of like July and August is the only kind of quiet spot, which is a far cry from last year, where it was things came out in March and the end of February, and then didn't come out again until the fall.
And you got like one thing every month and a half that would last you for like a week, and then you're like, okay, back to the
Yeah.
back to the
a little
backlog,
sprinkling of Somnium Files or Xenoblade or something.
I also just realized I'm gonna just do a couple double check because, for example, I just remembered that article that we were reading definitely did not have Like a Dragon Guide in The Man That Erased His Name, which is coming out in November. We didn't mention that, so I'm just gonna do a quick Wikipedia check because I think there's some stuff missing. So we're just gonna do a quick
this man
sweep.
wants to go to the boxes.
Yeah, now I'm going to the boxes, ladies and gentlemen, because GameSpot has done a great list there, but not everyone's perfect, so I'm just going to do a quick little rundown just to make sure that we've not forgot anything.
So we'll go to the place that's always perfect, Wikipedia.
It's better than that one. It'll have everything, like Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart coming to PC on July 26th.
To be so.
Yeah. Anything in August that we forgot. Samba de Amigo Party Central. How the fuck could we forget that one? August.
Good question.
If you wanted a rhythm game that has a track list from 2015, then you're in luck. Look forward to it. Anything in September? Eternights, 21st of September. Which is that Persona sci-fi thingy.
If that would have come out like if that were to be slated to come out like a month earlier, I would actually have a chance to play it. But
yeah,
Unfortunately, it was not meant to be.
So yeah, that's coming out. Oh god, end of September. Everyone can't forget EA FC 24. No longer FIFA. So that'll be interesting.
Really
to
rolls
see.
off the tongue.
EA FC. Yeah, it doesn't sound good. But
No, it doesn't. But
what are you gonna do, eh? What are you gonna do? Call it FIFA? Oh wait, they can't anymore. It's fine. October. Anything in October? Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. Wow, can't forget that.
Can't believe that game's getting a sequel. That's hilarious.
November, Life with Like a Dragon Gaiden on November 9th. There you go. That's something for you Japanese video game connoisseurs. Biomutance's going to Nintendo Switch. Oh, there is more. December, Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora comes out from Ubisoft on December 7th.
Of course.
How
How could we forget?
I'd prefer for it to be empty.
that game.
Don't worry, Hunter.
Flop.
That game will be empty.
Yeah, don't worry though, guys. It's being made by the same team that made The Division, so that puts my faith in it. I don't see why they're making a video game based on Avatar, but I also don't understand why the movies are so popular. I don't think the game could possibly be as popular though. So I could be proven
one of the
wrong.
most bland movies to ever come out, mixed with one of the most bland publishers to exist. It is going to be aggressively boring.
We'll see.
Aggressively bred.
We shall see. But with that, we're done. That's enough of that. We're done for today. I'm calling it.
You're calling it?
Yeah, I'm calling it. We were going to potentially do a fancy critical
Sounds
update,
good.
but we can chuck that in the second half of an episode later this month because it's not like we've got video games to cover. So we'll do that later in the year.
Next week's topic, baby.
No, we can't do a fucking episode on it, but we can chuck it in at the
That's
end.
what you think.
If we didn't already do the thing where we talked about everything that came out this year, then maybe, Kyle.
Yeah,
but unfortunately, that's what that entails.
Mister, we're not going to get a full episode out of Detective Archives Rain Code.
Well, we definitely did.
Made me sit here for an hour and a half listening to that game.
Well, we definitely did, and let me tell you, some people didn't like that. Some people thought we were too harsh, and to them I say, sometimes I feel I wasn't harsh enough. Anyway, it is what it is, right? That is...
Maybe the game should have had a better intro.
Maybe.
It's true.
It is true.
Maybe
it should have had a better
playing
first 2/3 of the
something
video
can still
game.
be satisfying while also making you feel mildly empty inside.
Have you
And I
started
wish
that back up yet?
Yeah, I started playing the. I'm pretty sure I know who did the Nailman thing already.
Yeah. When they give you the 4 shmups and it's like, who could it be?
Yeah, and one of them is inconspicuously injured. I wonder.
Who knows?
People think.
Who knows? You never
Put my
know. It might not
detective
be.
hat on.
It might not be.
Maybe not. I don't know.
You might know,
Could
but
be a red
who knows?
herring.
I don't even know if this is the group of 4 people that are the suspects yet. Honestly, I've just started. I just rolled up to that church and talked to those
They
guys.
100% are. They 100% are.
Okay, I am very confident in who done it, man.
Okay. Well, you'll see.
will.
We'll see. Anyway, that's it, I guess. We're done. We're out of here. Me and Kyle's little stingers came up. Yours didn't, Hunter. So that's what you get for having yours show up twice earlier in the episode. There we go.
I was
Perfect.
gonna say his came up twice earlier. We know who he is.
We know who he is.
We all know what he's about.
You sure do.
But yeah, if you want to keep up to date with everything that we're up to, you can go to at Hot Games Only on Twitter, or go to youtube.com/hotgamesonly. Look at our stupid faces every week, or search for Hot Games Only in your favorite podcast service. Hit the follow button. Give us a positive review if you are so kind. We'd appreciate it. And we'll be back next week, I guess. What will we talk about? Who knows? I don't. Hopefully my hair's less greasy. That'll be the real test. Maybe I'll wash my hair. Who knows?
Hair washing routines will be the topic next episode.
So my hair washing routine was, I forgot my hair's greasy, put a hat on it. Baby, job done. Thank you. But no. Next week, who knows what we'll talk about? I don't. Maybe we'll do a video game catch up. We'll see.
the
We'll see.
return of 3x3s.
No.
Ooh.
Anyway, you'll have to find out next week.
Ominous.
Same time, same place. We'll be here, so be sure to come back. And yeah, we'll see you then. But until then, have an awesome week. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.
See ya.
Toodaloo.